And from the pages of MikeHuckabee.com, where you can keep up with my common sense approach to the news, and you can do that every single day, just sign up at MikeHuckabee.com. Now, right before your eyes on 60 Minutes, evidence of the bloodless coup that has seemed apparent for about 2 years to those paying attention. Former Assistant Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, is being investigated for lying to his own FBI colleagues. Well, we get a pretty good idea of what was going on at the FBI. These were people overstepping their bounds for the purpose of taking down the President of the United States. Oh, but CBS's Scott Pelley still made it about Trump, implying that the president's behavior sparked this madness and asking McCabe with dead seriousness, quote, "Are you saying that the president is in league with the Russians?" End quote. Well, Chris Buskirk, publisher of American Greatness, said that McCabe is one of the cadre of people at the FBI and the DOJ who staked their careers on removing this president from office in any way they could, even using the secret police. The Inspector General, in a 39-page report with lots of evidence, reported that McCabe lied repeatedly, including under oath. But McCabe is yet to be indicted a year later, even though George Papadopoulos, Michael Cohen, Michael Flynn, and Paul Manafort from the Trump side have all been prosecuted for the exact same crime. Now, McCabe has plenty of company among liars on his side of the aisle, most notably James Comey, John Brennan, and Hillary Clinton. And those people have so far evaded indictment. So for what it's worth, McCabe offered more details about the Rosenstein offering to wear a wire story. He said, and I quote, "I never get searched when I go into the White House. I can easily wear a recording device. They wouldn't know it was there." Now, he wasn't joking. He was absolutely serious. And in fact, he brought it up in the next meeting we had. Now that, my friends, is a conspiracy against the elected President of the United States. It was not patriotism. It was treason. 60 Minutes obviously ran this interview for 3 reasons. 1, ratings. 2, to make Trump look bad. And 3, ratings. All right, let's see what's on your mind from this week's headlines. We get this from Tommy in Maryland. He writes and he says, pollster Pat Goodell passed away recently. The Washington Post said no one had more to do with President Trump's victory than Mr. Goodell through his polling. But he was not a fan of the president. Can you make sense of this? Well, I can tell you this. Pat Goodell was a dear friend of mine. He was a Democrat. He'd worked with Jimmy Carter and was one of those old school types of Democrats that I spoke about when I opened the show tonight. He's an honest broker. And what I can tell you about Pat is he called it like he saw it. He was like an umpire. He called balls and strikes, and he didn't do it with a sense of trying to shift what he saw or what he believed, but rather as he really saw it. And for that, I will truly miss him. And I'm so sorry about his death. But he was the kind of person that we really need more of in politics. An honest man from the day one. Well, this particular note comes in from a person who likes to be known as conservation-minded conservative. And this person says the Green New Deal promises to eliminate all greenhouse gas emissions from manufacturing and agriculture and meet 100% of power needs through renewable resources. Now, this seems like it's going to cost a lot of money. Congressman Cory Booker, AKA Spartacus, said that was a lie. So he asked, what's your take? Well, here's my take. There is no way in the world that we can eliminate all of the fossil fuels and still keep the lights on in your house. It's just that simple. Would we like to see renewable resources and energy? Of course we would. But by the same token, let's not be stupid about it. I kind of like going from one place to the other. I just got back from the Middle East. That's a tough swim, folks. And I kind of like that if I want to go somewhere, I can do it on an airplane. Now, we can get rid of all of them, but we can't build enough trains to get us to Grandma's house when we want to see her. And I got some grandkids spread out around the country, and I'd kind of like to see them too. So with all due respect to the folks like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and all of her friends who are pushing the new Green Deal, why don't you, before you get rid of the fossil fuels, you actually come up with something that will work? Then we might be willing to listen to you. And finally, this comes to us from Jerome in Massachusetts. He says, CBS 60 Minutes foreign correspondent Lara Logan recently stated on a podcast that conservative news organizations like Fox and Breitbart News offer the other side of news to a mostly liberal news landscape, partial to Democrats. She later said the interview was, quote, professional suicide for her, end quote. Why should that have to be for simply making an observation? Well, the answer is simple. It's because right now we are living in a world in which people don't get their news as news. They get it as opinion. And what Lara Logan said was rather bold, but quite accurate, in that there is a preponderance of news that is delivered with a definite slant toward the left. If you don't believe that, take a look at the polling that shows that 90% of all news coverage about this president is negative. Now, I'll admit he does some things that may be cringeworthy for even those of us who love him and support him. But you cannot say that 90% of the coverage about him would be negative and that would be even close to a balanced and unbiased view. Well, I hope you will take the time to email me any thoughts, questions, or critiques that you have about what's in our news. Just send your email to my2cents@tbn.tv. And that's my 2 cents with the number 2 in the address. Until next week, those are the facts of the matter.